Now the next step on this front fender, what I've done is I've taken 1000 grit sandpaper and I have sanded the primer filler down, and you can also see the start of the Bulldog high spots. Okay, that's fine. Now what the primer is going to do is it will smooth out the high spots, and then it will take off a little bit of the primer. No, I mean the Bulldog. Now in the front here, what I've done is you'll see where the rip was here. The one thing you do not, if you're doing primer, you do not want to go and show any spot putty. Okay? And there's a little ding right there for some reason. What I'm going to do with this right now, this whole piece, is I'll take my caulking gun with a big stretch. Of course I'm experimenting. I don't know if it'll work in the long run. But I am going to go in here and fill in this, just these very edges. And I'll fill in around the rivets. Just so when I paint it, it'll all look like one piece. And a little bit more up here and a little bit more up here. Now, you want to practice with your hands, feeling if it's smooth. What I can say, this is a mirror, and a mirror is completely smooth, mainly. Now, if you can run your hands over the mirror and feel, if you can run your hands over this part and it feels like a mirror, you don't feel any kind of anything that's any pits or grabbing or high and low spots, then you know that the surface is going to be, it's going to really reflect the paint really well. Now one trick I do want to stress when people are starting on their auto body, if you want to improve your finger sensitivity, use a small, not a washcloth, but a thin, like a white towel, and go over your project, whatever you're doing. What the towel does is it increases the vibration off of any of the bad spots that you may have, and you'll be able to feel them. Now after a while, your hands will become, your fingers and your palm and right here, see no hair at all, okay? And your hands will become so sensitized to feeling for smoothness that you can wipe your hand over it and you could tell. But a good painter, what he will do is he will wipe his hands over the smaller areas that normally people would miss. Now one thing I want to point out about these little edges here or in here, never get any spot putty or any plastic, we call it Bondo or mud, in these little areas. You don't need to put them in here unless you're going to rebuild this edge. And if you get the spot putty or Bondo in here, it is one hell of a bitch to get out. Take an hour to get it out. So if you happen to use a little bit of Bondo or spot putty right in here, and you get some on this little edge, get a towel and wipe that crap out of there before it dries. Because it is harder than hell to get out, and when you paint it, your line will be messed up and it'll really show. Alright, I'm going to put some, not Bondo, Big Stretch in this and see how it looks.